What's up, YouTube? It's Bryce. You're watching Why It Works. This is just a video I'm doing on EXR, one of the motorcycles that we built, me and my dad. Why It Works is the channel, and it's a shop. It's kind of like a shop thing that we've started up. I have been doing automotive for like, I don't know, 10 plus years. Let me fire this thing up. Hold on, plug your ears. All right. So I have been doing automotive work on stuff for 10 years. I'm pretty much entirely self-taught. I started like cutting mufflers off my buddies' cars, and then one thing led to another, and now we're doing builds, and it's really cool. I'm finishing up my business degree at college, so I have a bunch of free time to run my own shop. And this is one of the builds that we created. This bike's got a cool story. It's all electric. We built it ourselves. It is a 2004 Suzuki GS500f. We bought the bike and a title for 250 bucks. The bike was doomed for the scrapyard. So we tore it all the way down to the frame, pulled the engine out of it, which was rusted over, and recycled a bunch of stuff, and sold off things that could still work. And we got a kit off Alibaba. I think it is a Chinese kit, but it actually still does work. We built our own battery pack. This is the 5th generation battery pack that we have for it that uses prismatic cells, which is just like, you know, like big 3-volt cells on base plates that put all the electrodes on the top. You screw them all in, and it's just got a couple feed offs for main power. We are about $3,500 into it, considering the purchase of the bike and the previous battery mistakes that we got. But we finally got it dialed into the point where it's actually an amazing daily rider. And y'all don't be sleeping on electric stuff, especially motorcycles. I know they always say they're coming for our gas cars, not the Fox bodies, not the 5.0s, not the old 5.0s. Yeah, no, we're not. But this thing was doomed for the scrapyard, so technically I saved this thing from going to the scrap heap. We saved this thing. My dad did help considerably. He's an electrical engineer, so obviously this is his pride and joy. But we saved this thing from the scrap heap and gave it another life. And it is a hub motor, as you can hear, or well, not hear. The motor on this is the wheel. That's the term, hub motor. It's I modified it. I did a lot of the fabrication for this thing. So I'll pull over here for just a second and just show you. Those extensions on the end of that swing arm, the blue pieces, slide into the rear swing arm, and those are 2 motor mount bolts, I think, for a Ford Fusion. That's how we ended up making this. Actually, you know what? I'll go through the neighborhood. Screw it. This is actually how we ended up making it to where this bike, other than the front half of the frame, has no modifications. We could get a factory swing arm and put it all back together if we, say, bent a swing arm. This bike, pretty much all the re-engineering for it was kind of done by us. Got a new set of tires for it. It does about 60 to 70 miles an hour at its peak with the wind at your back downhill. And it'll go about 60 miles, and it doesn't have regen. Keep that in mind. So we can't brake and put the battery power back into the tank, which is one of the nice things about electrics, is it conserves energy. Which is what we're going to do on the second e-bike build that we're about to start on. It's a 1982 Seca 750 of my mom's that we've had for years, and the starter clutch went out. That's going to have regen, but 60 miles an hour at 60 miles was my dad's. That's the goal that he wanted for the electric build, and especially after we got some fresh lithium on it, it's exactly what it is. And as you can tell, there's nothing more like luxurious in terms of ride quality than this. I'm having a full, like the conversation that I'm currently having to my microphone in my helmet is loud enough that my ears are kind of sick of it. It's crazy how quiet the bike is. Nothing's buzzing, nothing like that after I hop off the bike. Overall, its acceleration's good. I mean, it's really a glorified electric scooter at its current power level, and we could change the in the software. We can adjust that, but it's in a very hard to understand language. So we've been trying to use Translate to kind of piece together what's what. E-bike number 2 is going to be saucier because it's going to use an axial motor, not a hub motor. So it'll have a Hall sensor, be able to do real good low RPM, high torque. and maybe do wheelies, hopefully. Of the other bikes, man, Turbo Hayabusa, can't really complain much about that. E85, whole 9 yards. It's the second build that we've like really done on the bikes, and I'm talking builds like tore them all the way down, kind of went to the drawing board, sourced a bunch of parts. The Busa is like, we're over like 16 grand into the bike, considering the cost of the purchase of the bike and all the stuff I've had to do to it. It's not cheap, but that's how, you know, you build it right, is you got to spend a lot of money. So it's got some nice parts on it and stuff, and I'll go over that in a different video. But for a cost of a motorcycle, this one, we're like in at 3,500. If we'd have done it right the first time, we'd probably be in it maybe mid twos, you know, $1,000 down for a crap battery that we ended up picking from a company I won't name. No spark plugs, no oil changes, a little bit of range anxiety, but we know what the bike is and we're not going to go to Oklahoma with it. So it does charge off 120 volts, and it takes about, I don't know, 8 hours maybe to fully charge, and that's on 120, which when we build a shop or a pergola, we're going to do a power pergola or put solar panels on top of it or on top of the shop, one or the other, and that will allow us to charge this thing for free, which is even nicer. But yeah, it's really cost efficient, and it's actually a really relaxing experience. I do recommend, if y'all want an electric motorcycle, if you haven't, I think Zero does the test drives. You could try one of those out and you're probably going to fall in love with it. Even this is an Ollie kit, and the throttle response is kind of weird and hard to understand, but man, we love it. It is probably the pinnacle of just a relaxing ride, and I know everybody says it has no character, and you're right. You're 100% right. It has no character, but I could have fun on a Grom. I have more fun on a Grom than a Turbo Hayabusa. I like going fast as much as the next guy, but I also realize that that's pretty dangerous, and I can have fun with riding for a whole lot more than just doing triple digits, right? And I mean, this thing isn't a public disturbance. We would go ride on the Cotton Belt. I mean, I'd ride this street legal motorcycle on that. There's a sidewalk over there you can't see, but that's called the Cotton Belt over here local. And we would ride down to different parks and stuff. They had Surons, which is even more of a legal gray zone in terms of road laws. So, I mean, road laws really don't apply to you. And that's the fascinating part about these two-wheeled machines. I'm actually going to cut through here and take this back road because it's curvy and I like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this bike came out of a compost heap from a lady. We went to go pick up a Harley, but we didn't come to a right price. We saw this in the side yard covered in it was literally in a heap of leaves that were like super deep, and there was a hornet's nest on it that was like, I think it's a multi-generational hornet's nest. I'm pretty sure it was a multi-family domicile or a duplex of some kind. It was crazy. Anyway, got that thing knocked off. It was a repo. This bike was actually a repossession from two dudes who couldn't keep up with the payments, defaulted on it, so they rattle canned the bike black, and that's why it's wrapped. These are the original fairings for the bike, and we wrapped them, and we like it. I mean, it looks way better than what's underneath it, and we didn't have to get any new fairings anywhere, so yeah, that's a win-win. The tank is hollow. We've considered turning it into storage. We're moving along on the house side of things. We're actually considering trying to work out to get me a shop, an actual like shop, so they can have car storage in the main garage back. I get more fun space to build more cool stuff, things like this. We would never electric swap something that doesn't need it, right? Like my mom's motorcycle, we're electric swapping that because the starter clutch went out on the engine, and the engine was very unreliable on starting. This thing was doomed for the scrap heap, so we electric built it. You'd be surprised if you have some simple tooling like a welder, or if you have a buddy with a welder, you can make these electric swaps like actually quite easy. When we do end up posting more on our website, it'll be a whyitworks.com or a URL, something like that. I'll have it linked in my bio. But whenever we end up getting that set up, we'll post more like open source stuff and allow it easier for people to figure out how to do this kind of stuff themselves. Other than that, man, it's such a satisfying motorcycle. I think hybrid technology is probably going to be the way forward in terms of these. And man, as much as y'all are hating on them, you act like it doesn't take a bunch of energy to pull iron and iron ore out of the ground and refine it into steel to make an engine blocks and stuff. Sodium's going to be a nice battery technology. Hopefully they can make something out of that, because that is a abundant natural resource. If you are considering getting an electric bike, man, take it from us. It's so nice having it in the stable with the other horses. It is an amazing grocery getter. So it's really fuel efficient, really good on the fuel side of things. And go ahead and get it, dude. You're gonna love it. If you like these videos, you like this content, I'll post more like deep dives on. We have lots of footage to go over building this bike and all the work that we put into building the custom battery box and stuff like that. I'm gonna post some videos up on that, just really as it gets traction, and while I have time in between fixing cars in my shop and stuff like that. But yeah, follow the channel. We'll post some booster stuff here in a little bit. Thank y'all very much for watching, and y'all have a good day. Peace.